Welcome to The Big Question, the show that explores difficult topics from different perspectives. Today, we are asking a question that many people think about in their daily lives. Is it ethical to eat meat? It's a simple question with a very complex answer. To help us understand the different viewpoints, we have two excellent guests. On one side, we have Dr. Emily Carter. She is an environmental scientist who believes that eating meat is not ethical. Welcome, Emily. And on the other side, we have Tom. He is a chef and the owner of a restaurant that focuses on using local and sustainable food. He believes eating meat can be ethical. Welcome, Tom. We hope to have a respectful and informative discussion today. Emily, let's start with you.
Thank you, Sarah. The question of whether it is ethical to eat meat is, for me, quite simple. It comes down to two main ideas: unnecessary suffering and environmental responsibility. First, let's talk about the animals. It is a scientific fact that the animals we eat, cows, pigs, chickens, are intelligent beings. They can feel pain, fear, and joy, just like the pets we have in our homes. However, the way we raise them for food is a different story. The great majority of meat comes from factory farms. In these places, animals live in terrible conditions. They are kept in small, crowded cages, often without enough space to turn around or lie down comfortably. Many never see natural sunlight or breathe fresh air. Their lives are short and full of stress and pain. People talk about humane slaughter, but I must ask, how can you humanely take the life of a healthy being that does not want to die? We do this simply for a meal that we do not need to survive. We have so many other food choices available today. Second, there is the huge impact on our planet. Raising animals for meat uses an enormous amount of resources. It takes so much land to grow the crops to feed these animals, and it takes incredible amounts of water. In fact, producing 1 kilogram of beef can use over 15,000 liters of water. Furthermore, livestock are a major source of greenhouse gases, like methane, which are a big cause of climate change. When we look at all these facts, choosing plant-based foods is the most ethical decision for the animals, for our planet, and for our future.
Thank you, Emily. Tom, we'd now like to hear your opening statement.
Thank you for having me. I agree with Emily on one very important point. Factory farming is terrible. The conditions she described are unacceptable, and I am completely against them. But the problem is not eating meat. The problem is how that meat is produced. We should not reject something completely just because one method of doing it is wrong. Humans have been eating meat for thousands of years. It's a natural part of our history and our diet. Meat is a very simple and direct source of important nutrients that our bodies need. It gives us high-quality protein, iron, and vitamin B12, which are essential for our health, especially for growing children. My argument is that we need to make a distinction between industrial agriculture and ethical, sustainable farming. I run a restaurant that works with small, local farms. On these farms, animals are treated with respect. They live outdoors, eat a natural diet, and are a part of a healthy ecosystem. They have good lives. This model of farming also supports local economies and communities. It connects people to their food source. So for me, the ethical choice is not to stop eating meat. The ethical choice is to be a responsible consumer. It means choosing to eat meat from good, local sources where you know the animal was raised well. It's about quality, not quantity. This approach respects the animal, honors our human traditions, and supports a healthier food system for everyone. It's about being mindful and making conscious choices, not removing a natural food group from our plates entirely.
Emily, thank you for that. You've clearly explained the issues with factory farming, but Tom makes an interesting distinction. He talks about small, local farms where animals are treated well and seem to live good lives. In your view, can it ever be ethical to eat an animal, even if it was raised in these better conditions? Does a good life justify the fact that we take that life for our own consumption?
That's a very important question, Sarah. And it's true that small local farms are certainly less bad than industrial factory farms. The animals on these farms have better lives, and that is a positive thing. However, I believe the fundamental ethical problem remains the same. The core of the issue is that we are still taking a life for human pleasure, not for our survival. In modern society, with all the food options we have, we do not need to eat meat to be healthy. So, we are choosing to kill an animal for the taste or the habit. We use words like humane or ethical slaughter, but these are human ideas we put on the action to make ourselves feel better. For the animal, it is still a terrifying experience. Its life, which is the only one it has, is ended prematurely. Furthermore, even this ethical meat is not environmentally perfect. It still requires more land and water than growing plants. So while it is a step in a better direction, I believe the most ethical choice is to leave animals off our plates completely. Why cause any harm when we can easily avoid it?
That's the central challenge. And it's a fair point. The current global demand for meat is completely unsustainable. I absolutely agree with that. My solution is not that everyone should continue eating meat at the current high levels just from better farms. The solution has two parts. First, as a society, we need to eat less meat overall. It should be something special, not something you have 3 times a day. This is the eat less part of the idea. Second, when we do eat meat, we must ensure it comes from the right places. This is the eat better part. Sustainable farms are actually part of a healthy ecosystem. The animals graze on land that might not be suitable for growing crops. Their waste fertilizes the soil naturally, which reduces the need for chemical fertilizers. This is very different from the environmental damage caused by giant farms growing a single crop, like soy, which is often shipped across the world to feed factory-farmed animals. And let's not forget that many popular vegan products are highly processed and are also shipped long distances, which creates its own environmental footprint. So supporting a local, sustainable farm is often a better environmental choice. It's not a perfect solution for 8 billion people overnight, but it is a realistic and responsible path forward.
We are nearing the end of our time. I'd like to give you both one final minute to give your closing statements. Emily?
To summarize my position, the choice is clear. We have overwhelming evidence of the suffering caused to billions of animals in the meat industry. Even under the best circumstances, we are taking a life that does not need to be taken. At the same time, the environmental cost of raising animals for food is damaging our planet at an alarming rate. We are facing a climate crisis. By choosing plant-based foods, we make a compassionate choice that reduces animal suffering. It is also a responsible and powerful choice for the health of our planet. I encourage everyone listening to think about the impact of their food and to explore the many delicious and healthy plant-based options available.
Thank you, Emily. And Tom, your final thoughts?
I want to leave you with this thought. The enemy is not the cow, it's the factory. The problem is not meat, but the industrial system we have built around it. My argument is for connection. I believe we should be more connected to our food, to the farmers who grow it, and to the land it comes from. The solution is not to remove a traditional and nutritious food from our diet, but to change our relationship with it. We should eat less meat, but when we do, we should choose meat from local, responsible farmers who care for their animals and the environment. This choice supports a better, more sustainable food system for everyone and honors the life of the animal.
And that is all the time we have. My sincere thanks to both of our guests, Dr. Emily Carter and Tom, for sharing their very thoughtful and different perspectives. You have given us a lot to think about. The central question seems to be whether we should focus on eliminating meat from our diets entirely, or on fundamentally changing the way we produce and consume it. We hope this discussion encourages all of you to think more deeply about the food on your plate. Thank you for joining us on The Big Question.